Hey guys, Sandy here, and I am back with my Secret Not Secret Kit Club kit. As you can see, I have plenty left in this bad boy, and I'm excited to use it. And I'm actually going to be scrapbooking these two tickets from the 5 Seconds of Summer tour that I took my daughters to last year. It was the youngest daughter's birthday, and this was her birthday present. Of course, this is my ticket and the parking pass because they had their tickets, and I was given explicit instructions that this was to be scrapbooked and theirs were not to be touched. So let's see what I can do.
So I'm starting off with a sheet of Basil Marshmallow cardstock, and this did not come in my kit. This came from my stash. I actually pulled a couple things from my stash for this layout. And that's awesome because if I can combine the kit that I'm receiving with my stash, to me that's great because that just means I'm using up more of my stuff. And that means I get to buy more stuff, right? That's how it works. So I decided to do the packaging technique. And I decided to mix all the gelatos that I had, which is white, pink, blue, and purple. And that purple, I don't know what I was thinking. I know when you mix pink and blue, you get purple. And then I had the purple gelato, and it just came out purple all over the place on this paper. So what I do is I grab some more of the blue and the pink and just add a little bit more all over the page. I thought the white would soften it a little bit, but honestly, it didn't need to be softened, and I decided to go a different way with softening it anyway. So I'm just splattering it around, and I don't even know if I do the packaging technique completely correct because I'm kind of like a flappy patter with it instead of like a place and smoosh type person. But, you know, whatever. If it works for you, then do what works for you. And now I also want a little bit more of the pink splatter. So I put a bunch of pink gelato on that thing and really wet it and kind of smush it around a little bit. And then put so much water on it that I can shake it and get the drops. But I'm too impatient to let them dry by themselves. So I pull out my heat gun after wiping up some of that water mess. I pull out my heat gun and dry it. So those pretty splatters aren't pretty splatters anymore. And I was thinking that I was going to add some splatters in with some sort of mist or something, and I completely forgot. Now I pulled this 6x6 pattern paper from the kit, and I had big plans for this paper, but for some reason I decided to use it for the tickets. And it's perfect because the colors are there, and I decided to keep it on the pink side and cut off a couple of those darker, like bluish green stripes. And that's okay because I'll be able to use those on another page. And I decide that the paper and the tickets are kind of getting lost on that background. So I decide that I'm going to go ahead and mat it on a very thin mat. And I don't know if I ever said this, but this layout was for a flash challenge that Christy posted in the Secret Not Secret Kit Club group on Facebook. So this is where that layout design's coming from. I'm actually following the sketch. I'm not sure if I ever said that in the beginning. Now I decide, since I have my tickets matted on some black cardstock, that I should mat the whole layout on some black cardstock just to give it a little bit of a base and some definition. So I just trim about 1/4 of an inch on 2 sides of the cardstock and slap that sucker down on the black cardstock. Now I don't mat it on as thick of a mat as I usually do when I put a mat on my pages like that, because usually I want you to be able to see the pattern paper from behind. So I usually cut about 1/2 of an inch or even sometimes a little bit larger piece of paper to go on my background sheet, like where the black paper is. But this, I just wanted it thin and light. So I decide that I'm going to use this 12 by sheet of vellum that came in my kit, and I'm just going to rip it because I want my sketch, like the sketch calls for, it has like a line down behind where the photos would be. And since I'm not using photos, I'm using tickets, I decided to not use a real line and go for the vellum as well. And it does kind of soften the gelato that's all over the background paper. And there's another little section over here that's on the sketch. And at first I was thinking about cutting it, and then I was thinking about filling it with some enamel shapes like I saw on Heather's Crafty Life YouTube video a couple weeks ago. She filled it with all these beautiful enamel shapes. But then I decided, you know what? I've got this great stencil that came in the kit, and I'm going to do something fun. I am going to, first I got to erase those pencil marks. I'm going to pull out my Bo Bunny glitter paste because I have it in various colors and I haven't really done a whole lot with it. So I really wanted to. So I grabbed that glitter paste, and it's the Caribbean blue color, and I love it. It's full of glitter, but it's smooth. It's smooth to like splatter around with your palette knife. It doesn't like have a rough texture. Well, I mean, it's a super fine glitter paste, so it doesn't have like a super rough texture when you're smooshing it around with your palette knife. It's just really smooth, and I like it. So I decide that I am really going to tape these suckers down when I do my glitter paste in here, because right there when I pulled it up, I glittered myself everywhere. I had a big splash across my neck and my face and my arms. But I just kind of like wipe it off a little bit and keep going. But I had put that washi tape down because I've tried using this glitter paste before with a stencil and did not, and I had disastrous results. I couldn't keep the stencil like in its place. So here I am, I'm just filling out that stencil with the glitter, and I am loving this. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And I'm thinking I'm going to add more to the page as well, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do, but I do add glitter to 2 other spots on the page, and I don't make you watch that. I'm actually going to turn off the camera and let the glitter dry, and then when I come back, you'll be able to see where I have glitter paste with that stencil in multiple places. So there it is. I decided to do it above the ticket and below the ticket. I also use some die cuts and chipboard thickers from the kit to create that little cluster up there where the title's going to go. And then I pulled out my Freckled Fawn letter stickers, and these are like really super thin puffy stickers, like super thin puffy stickers. And they're a little bit flexible, so you can move them around ever so slightly, you know, if you need your letters to move just a little bit. And it's the first time I've used them. They came in the black and white kit for September, I believe it was. And I'm gonna use them up. I'm contemplating canceling my Freckled Fawn subscription. It's not that I'm not happy with the quality of the product. I am very happy with the quality of the product. I'm just not happy with shipping and missing kits and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm contemplating canceling it. So we'll see. I do have that banner popped up on some fun foam, and I'm just adding the adhesive because I forgot about that. Whoops. And then I decide that the word summer is too low. I want it closer to the title part where the banner is, so that there's not like this weird awkward gap. And the title is They Love Summer, and that is kind of a play on words because the concert we went to was 5 seconds of summer. Now I'm just adding a little bit of ATG right there because things were popping up. And I did not want them to pop up. So we did that. Now I went in my stash and grabbed a few things. I grabbed these My Story die cut packs from My Mind's Eye, which I don't think I ended up using anything out of. I was thinking about using that yellow ticket, and there was a yellow tag. Because I have that yellow flower over there, I wanted to pull a little bit more in, besides that 2 little bits of yellow that you can see underneath the tickets. I also pulled out some LE Studio die cuts, and they had the perfect shade of yellow in there, so I grabbed some of those. And I messed around a little bit with some words to see, to add to the title so it wasn't just They Love Summer, but I just decided not to do that. And then I also pulled out, what is this? These are Gossamer Blue chipboards and rubber pieces. And I did find a couple of those that I really liked to add. The yellows were really good, like the same tone. They might not be exactly the same color, but they're super close. And since they're all not right next to each other, you really can't tell. And I'm just poking these behind the tickets like I would on any kind of photo that's there. I also have some basic gray chipboard that I pull out, and I pull out a couple of those. Now I do add that little geotag up at the top, and I always feel like a rebel if I put a geotag on the page and it's not like overlapping something and it's just kind of floating out there. I mean, it is tucked into that little stenciled area and where the vellum meets, and so it's tucked into that little V, but I feel like a rebel that it's not like actually marking something. So there you go. Here, I had a little rebel moment, and now you're in on it. So now I'm just messing around a little bit, and I'm like, do I want to pull in these little rubber embellishments? And I decided to go with fave, and it's spelled the way I like to spell fave, which is with the E. I think I've said this before, but I hate fave spelled F-A-V. It looks like fav to me. So fave with the E. Like, I feel like I should make that happen. Anyway, so I'm just kind of futzing around with these little pieces. On the sketch, there's like 2 areas of embellishment, and I'm working in both of those areas. And I'm just kind of, mixing it around. I want to have the blue and the pink and the yellow in all 3 areas. So over where the title is, up at the top where the sparkly glitter paste is, and then at the bottom where I seem to be spending a lot of time right now. And I just decided to go through those die cuts one more time. Or maybe this is the first time I'm going through them. Nope, I think it's the second time. Just to see, if there's something else that I can pull out, because I really don't want to get up and dig through my stash some more. I've used a lot of the die cuts and a lot of the chipboard thickers from my kit already. And while I do have those yellow flowers over there, I don't think I pull in a little flower. And here's that basic gray chipboard, and we're just getting that to pull out. Now, as you can tell, it's getting to be the afternoon at my house because the sun is moving across the screen there, and I don't realize it again until the end. Like, I should just know that it's that time of the day and I need to change my blinds, but I just don't. It just doesn't. I'm so in the zone, it just doesn't even connect. So I'm just pulling out some more of these chipboard pieces. Now, when I put the adhesive on these chipboard pieces, some of them I leave the thickness that they are, and some of them I pull out some of the layers of the chipboard, and that's just so all the embellishments on my page are not the exact same height. It gives a little bit of texture there. Now I'm pulling these Freckled Fawn epoxy heart stickers, and I just put those on. And here I am, everything is adhered now. that pink heart over there by the title, I actually put Zots on the back of it because it was being adhered over top of the glitter. And I think that might be the only thing I used Zots on. I used Zots on the flowers as well over there by the title. But everything else I used my ATG with because I had to pull my ATGs apart and completely redo them. For some reason, I had some adhesive stuck on one of the wheels and it kept jamming up my ATG, and it happened on both of them, so it's obviously how I operate it. But whatever, they're fixed now. Alright, here's my layout. Thanks so much for watching. I'll leave the link down below to check out the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, and I'll see you guys soon.